Hello there, many thanks for joining us in our Midweek Business News Report. It's now time to bring you the feature on the show today as the House of Representatives and a committee investigating the state of refineries in the country has for the third time been summoned the group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, and the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva, to appear before it unfailingly tomorrow, which is Thursday, the 28th of April, to give account of the true state of refineries and why they are not functioning despite the $3.7 billion awarded for their rehabilitation. Well, joining me now virtually to discuss this and much more, I have Adeola Yusuf, Team Lead, Platforms Africa. Thank you very much for joining us on the Breakfast Show this morning, Mr. Yusuf.
Thank you so much. Good morning. I'm so happy to be on the program this morning.
Now, the burning issue we have today is the state of the nation's refineries. The fact that we have the menace of oil theft still ripping hard into the nation's economy. And then we also have illegal refineries operating as well. Beyond this whole crude oil theft, the illegal refineries operating, the bigger elephant in the room is the fact that we have rehabilitation on paper, yet we are not seeing our refineries working. Hence, we are seeing the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating the state of refineries and calling on the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, likewise the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources. How big of an issue would you say the state of our refineries are today?
Okay, thank you so much. On a number of occasions, we've been speaking about the state of the refineries. And I believe for this program this morning, a bit of background will be very, very necessary. You recall that refineries were built so many years ago. And after the original asset manufacturers, the OEM, completed that work, they handed over a template to the Nigerian government. And what part of what is contained in that template is to have a regular turnaround maintenance for those assets. You will recall that after the military intervention, military regime, and successive government, the advice by the OEM, the original asset manufacturers, the advice was abandoned, the advice was neglected. And that led to those refineries, we were just, using those assets without following the rules of, turnaround maintenance. And over the years, those assets have been working and they became so wear out. Now, the issue now is that after a number of years of allocating some amount of money for turnaround maintenance, we discovered that those monies were not actually used for turnaround maintenance. Some couple of years ago, I'm aware that some of those asset manufacturers were approached to come and do, the turnaround maintenance. All of them declined the invitation to come, and do turnaround maintenance. And the reason for that is that those assets have been overused, and they cannot come and mess up their name, the name that they have made in the business. So, and the refineries, we have 4 of them, in which the total capacity is 445,000 barrels, 2 in Port Harcourt, 1 in Warri, and another 1 in Kaduna. As I'm talking to you, it's only 3 of them that the government is still working on to ensure that maybe they can revive them. The other one in Port Harcourt, the first one in Port Harcourt 1, has totally packed up. So that has been the background of this refinery, and a lot of interventions have been made when Mele Kyari became the helmsman at the NNPC. He has done a contract of co-location with Ajib, with a lot of IOCs. He has done a lot of effort. But one thing about this matter is that his effort has not materialized because of the huge nature of the damage that has been done to those refineries. Unfortunately, while the Nigerian legal refineries are not working, the illegal refineries are working, and that will be what I will wait for you to ask me a question about.
Refineries are working, and we have the latest reports where we see lives claimed just as a result of this illegality. Now, to what extent now do you think this call on the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources and then the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, to what extent do you think this would also help bring around a turnaround, so to speak? Because by the time we look at how much we have of crude oil theft, this is amounting to about $1.5 billion just this first quarter of the year. And then we also have the illegal refineries not necessarily taking operations seriously, safety measures, and this has resulted in loss of lives. How do we now begin to also have a bigger conversation as to the sanity of operations, even if we now begin to now say, let's welcome modular refineries in terms of safety of operations and how much has been stolen or taken out of the country? How do we begin to maneuver through all of these?
Okay, you raised about 3 issues and I'll discuss them one by one. The first one is how important is this invitation of someone extended to the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources and the GMD of NNPC. I want to say that the Nigerian National Assembly is doing right thing, as giving the responsibility as given to it by the Nigerian Constitution, and it is going to afford the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Chief Timothy Silva, and the GMD of NNPC, Malam Mele Kyari, to come and give account of stewardship. So the invitation will afford them the opportunity to clearly state efforts they have been making so far in ensuring that Nigerian refineries have brought back to life. And it is going to as well allow them the opportunity to tell Nigerians, 200 million Nigerians through their representatives at the National Assembly, how so damaging the illegal refineries because illegal refinery or illegal refining works hand in hand with crude oil theft. How so dangerous that has been to our environment, to our health, and to our economy. It will afford them that opportunity, and it will afford them the opportunity to afford Nigerians, through their representatives, the opportunity to ask critical questions that relate with effort they are making in ensuring that crude oil theft is caught, is nipped in the bud. I'm aware of a number of efforts being made through statements, from the group general manager, Group Public Affairs Division of NNPC, Malam Garba Din Mohammed, on a number of meetings the NNPC has been making with security agencies, the Navy, the Army, and a lot of the NCDC. And a lot of security agencies that are supposed to be working to assist the NNPC in regard to curb the crude oil theft. He will have that opportunity to explain clearly, and it will afford the Nigerian representatives too the opportunity to ask questions that are so germane to ensuring that Nigerian is out of this quagmire. Let me quickly say, first of all, let me condole with those that lost their lives, on the families of those that lost their lives in Imo. But that Imo incident has shown to Nigerians, how so serious the fight against crude theft and illegal refining is supposed to be handled. Over 100, as at the last count, we were told that about over 150 people have been confirmed dead in that incident. Just imagine, a village or a couple of villages in which over 100 people are working daily, based on illegality, based on refining crude illegally. What they will do is that after refining, are getting ole AGO, that is diesel. They turn off the other product into the environment. That has been damaging the environment. The second one, Nigeria is losing a lot when it comes to crude theft. I'm aware that some oil wells have been shut down because of the inability to meet demand. I'm aware that OPEC quota given to Nigeria, a meager 1.7 million barrels per day. Nigeria has not been able to meet this for for some time now. So Nigeria is losing a lot of money. When it comes to crude theft, data available has shown that $5.5 billion Nigeria has lost since 2001 to crude theft. Just imagine 5. That is over $1 trillion the Nigerian has lost to crude theft. That is affecting the environment. It's affecting the health of people that are living in that environment, and it is affecting the economy of the country. Imagine how much $1 trillion can solve if judiciously used for the Nigerian economy. So the meeting is very cardinal. It's very important for the NNPC GMD and the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources to come and give their account of stewardship. And I think a lot of facts are going to be doled out from that meeting. I want to encourage members of the National Assembly to ask critical questions that will afford these two gentlemen, to pour out their mind on how sincere the fight against all this economic sabotage should be handled.
We definitely will keep our tabs on all of the intricacies that will play out. Definitely, information is key at this point in time. It is critical for the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources and then the GMD of NNPC to be present tomorrow. Thank you once again for your time on the Breakfast Show this morning, Mr. Yusuf.
Thank you so much for having me.